Okay, so nobody's getting the truth from the mainstream media, folks. It's well past time to open your eyes, your ears, and your mind. Do your own research because something isn't right here. And if you can't see that, you are not paying attention, folks.
It's the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order. A world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations.
So let's look at each one of these and see how we can get this down to zero. Probably one of these numbers is going to have to get pretty near to zero. Now that's back from high school algebra, but let's take a look. First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
The important message that we need Australians to get vaccinated as quickly as possible. In line with that, I do encourage all Australians to please go and book your vaccinations as soon as you can if you haven't already done so.
Emma, get away!
When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
Okay, we need to stand up against this tyranny, folks. Stop giving away your freedoms and liberties, because the more you give up, the more these people will take until you have absolutely nothing left. That's their agenda.
All right, good evening, folks. As you can see in the comments here, still plenty of Dan Andrews, the commo, snuck his way into the world leaders in the NWA. The guy just loves it. But anyway, this is what we're up against, guys, and we are up against it. We've seen that with with what's gone on in the past, and where some people are going to try and outflank and do some crazy stuff. But anyway, it's where we are. We've had the Florida no more vax anything mandates lifted, gone, no more anything. How brilliant is that, guys? And I hope that comes further along, But yeah, Florida at the moment, I reckon everyone will be flocking there. So some really good things coming up, and that is going to cause some trouble, guys. It is going to get crazy, now that that's been done. And JFK, they're onto him, Junior. They're or Robert F. Kennedy, sorry. They're trying to chase him down, guys. They're trying, just like they did with Trump, they're trying to shut him up and isolate him now. So, the exposure's gone really well, guys. And we're going to have a guest on tonight who has been doing a bit of that, and it's a 5-year anniversary for him. So Brady started Stand in the Park 5 years ago, around some time. I don't know when, but around 5 years ago now. I presume that tomorrow, or this weekend, could be the actual anniversary of that. And unfortunately, it's overlapped with Jody's, but in Wollongong, guys. I'm pretty sure we're combining with Stand in the Park down at Stewart Park, and we want to stand beside you. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. Fucking ASIO. Every night, 7 o'clock, Brady. It's just unreal, mate. Just unreal. Anyway, so Brady's got a 5-year anniversary, guys. So I'm asking everyone to get out there and get behind what he's been doing and what's on this weekend, and maybe reinvigorate Stand in the Park a little bit and get a few more people in. Because why? Because now I think after the last weekend and the hoo-ha of the mainstream media, etc., the people are actually realising that something's going on out there and we need to come together. So, Brady, again, thank you for coming on, mate. Welcome to the show, and congratulations on 5 years of staying in the park, mate.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's been quite a 5 years, hasn't it? Jesus,
Oh, wow.
crazy.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to
Day.
do it all. Wouldn't want to do it all again, mate, would you? You know, I mean, you know, let's just get it finished, bro. Let's unite the country and get it finished. That's our job.
Oh, it's sort of been great fun at the same time, really.
I don't know about you. I don't like getting arrested and stuff like that. You know, I just like to live a pretty cruisy life, man. You know, doing what I want to do and reporting on the news. But it doesn't go down well with some people, does it?
No, not now.
So Brady, why did you decide to actually start Stand in the Park? How did that story come about?
I started it in August 2020, and it was after the very first rally against COVID in Sydney, which was just crazy experience. I'd never been to a rally before. I can't remember being to a protest before, and it was quite an eye-opener. All those knuckle drag overall wearing cops were down there, and they would end up chasing us around in circles on the oval, and it was just a surreal experience. And it was after that I thought, what a wasted. There was only probably 200-300 people down there, and I thought after that, what a wasted opportunity. We didn't share any numbers. We didn't come up with a plan. We weren't sort of form any support networks. We just sort of went down there, got chased around in circles, and then left again. And I thought, and there was a whole heap of resources focused on that one event. And so I just came up with this whole sort of, it just sort of came to me really about how we could sort of solve a few of these issues and how we could be there for each other and how we could get offline and into the physical and have physical energy exchanges, because we were all pretty sort of lonely in it there, and it was already hitting the fan at that stage. And so it sort of came to me in one fell swoop that we needed to have a stand rather than a big protest. It was going to be in lots of different local parks, and it wouldn't stand for anything. It wouldn't be sort of the common law stuff or the anti-vax stuff or anything. It was just no division down there. It would just be all of us standing together for what was sort of true for us, personal truth and freedom. And so that's how it came about. And it was every Sunday at 10 to 11. And so that we'd know where each other were if there was an internet outage or something like that. And no leaders down there, so no one could take over it. And so, yeah, it just came to me.
Oh, it's excellent. And of course, here we've got this is Chicks One down in. They're celebrating 5 years, and that's this Sunday. So looks like it's going to have a really good turnout. So
it's hard to see how many.
You're giving us a show for Monday, Brady. You know, or Tuesday we can get all the clips in, mate, and spend a night on you.
Yeah. Yeah, and there still seems to be about 1,100 in about 30 countries, and so it's hard to tell what's going on, but it's still going strong. Another sort of 40 or so started in the US recently, and so it just ticks along. I don't even know what happens. They just send us their park and go down there, and I've sort of wondered whether or not they're even going, because some did drop out during COVID, obviously, and then they sent us photos. They got a fucking fair going on down there with bands and food stalls and everything, and so it's just got a life of its own.
That'd be in Texas, I'd imagine, because Texans do anything they do big. So,
yeah, it's so awesome. Good to see, but it's kind of weird because it's just like a thing that's just got a life of its own.
Yeah, I never knew it had gone into some other countries and that like that, Brady. Really? So that's absolutely great, mate. Brilliant.
It was in sort of nearly 40 countries within about 9 months of me standing there the first time. It just exploded.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's what we need, an explosion in the hearts of the Australian people, because as I said on the intro, Brady, we're in a little bit of a rough spot at the moment, I think, with what's been going on. So, we'll be right, but we've all got to just come together and get it done, you know. But as we said, last weekend was a good showing that people are willing to come out and stand up, Brady. So that was brilliant, mate.
It really was. It was a marker in time, that one, I think. And they had quite a head start. We can't really beat ourselves up. They've been planning this and executing it for 40, 50, 100 years or whatever. And then a lot of us only really realised what was going on during COVID. And that was just 5 years ago. So all they had was a head start. We'll catch them up. They're too transparent. They're standing there naked in front of us all now. And so it's they've already lost.
Yeah. One of the really awesome things is that all our people have got phones, and so wherever they go, they just say to them. We've always just said to them, look, just take a 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, just explain what it is, get it into me. And so we've got this whole network of people that are able to sort of let us know what everyone's up to. It's great.
Yeah, well, and it used to be, there was 5 channels in Australia. Whoever had control over the 5 television channels and the 3 newspapers, that was the media. Now we're all the media. Everyone.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Everyone. It is.
And then
it's
we have the
excellent.
Sydney Morning Herald actually coming out this morning. I don't know if you saw that, Brady, but that was a laugh, mate. With a picture of Dan Andrews and calling him a communist. Oh, here it is, Dan and his dictator mates.
Yeah,
Like
good.
Sydney Morning Herald.
We've got the mainstream media, and the other one we've got is this one as well. It's like this. I just can't believe this. This is mainstream media.
Well, that just goes to show how many numbers we have, because they wouldn't have a paper.
Some of the world's most notorious dictators at China's parade of military might. The former premier joined Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un for Beijing's show of force against the Western world.
China's message to the world.
Like, that's incredible, but they're actually reporting about it as it should be reported, as opposed to, he's over there doing great deals for us. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they've realised they're not going to. It's so out in the open, and there's so many of us now that they're not going to have a newspaper if they keep sprouting shit. And they're not. No one's watching the news already. They're actually going to be dead in the water if they don't actually start reporting the truth. They're a victim of themselves.
Exactly, and they've paid for their Zionist lobby group, in the background as well, Brady. So it's going to be interesting to see, mate, because they won't. Look, their idea on the deep state side, if it shuts down, they don't care. You know what I mean? They'll just let it ramp down, and they'll shut everything else down as well. But I think the voice of the people is becoming loud, and I think we're about to see some
very
action
loud
in Australia. Yeah,
that's
it. And it will make a difference.
Yeah. So have you been following the machete bin story at all? That is really fascinating.
Yeah, I did a video about it.
Yeah, have a look at this.
The machete bins cost and where were they made? Well, tonight I'm up in Wodonga with a bunch of my libertarian friends. Say hi, everyone. All right, so what's happened? Well, it's been announced that there's actually the cost of the bins were about $2,800. So not $300,000 like everyone was saying. Now, I went and spoke to Peter yesterday. You would have seen that on the last update. And I actually got a quote from Peter on 40 machete bins. And you can see it on the screen right now. I'll put it up. This quote works out at about $4,000. Now, this is a high quality bin that's going to last more than a few months, made to Australian standards with Australian steel from a professional company. But still, it's about $4,000. People are wondering why the government one's so much cheaper. Well, it's because we think that they were made in prisons. I said already the other day that we had good evidence that they were made in Mount Gambier prison in South Australia. My staff spoke to someone yesterday, an inmate, in fact, from Ravenhall prison, who said that they made some there. He actually made them himself, but they only made a dozen or so bins in the prison. So that lends weight to the theory that lots of these bins were actually built all over the place at different prisons. They may be built in other prisons as well, and I'll clarify it next week. But it begs the question, what's happened to the rest of this $13 million? If only $100,000 or so was actually spent on the bins, where's the rest of the money going? I'll tell you next time.
Well, we all knew that from the start, but yeah, good to have a bit of evidence on it, yeah.
I'm just imagining a crim that's just got out of jail dropping a machete in his own bin.
I made this bin.
Or he knows how to break into it.
Think about it. They spread it out between prisons. I mean, I haven't seen the bins, but I'd imagine there's some folding, some riveting or some welding. And, what did they do? Send it in as a flat pack or something and have them put it together, Brady? I'm just wondering, how do you fold? How do you, I don't know what outside coating they got on them, whether it's a ruffle, but how do you do all that in a prison that's not set up to actually do metalwork?
Haven't you seen the IKEA machete bins? The Machetes Venson bins.
Oh dear.
Yeah, exactly.
We've got a lot on. We've got the convoy starting this weekend, and I missed out a couple of the flyers, so I've got to bring those on. So I'll do that now.
And the Freedom Unites Coast and Country Parade details are as follows.
On Saturday, the 6th of September at 7 a.m, the Albury event leaves APCO, Lavington, travelling to Colcan, Henty, The Rock, Uranquinty, Wagga and Gundagai, stopping at Yass for lunch between 11 and 1. Then continuing to Murrumbateman, Braidwood, Bungendore, Bateman's Bay and camping at the Ingenia Holiday Park, Tomakin. Also on Saturday the 6th, the Moreton Bay event starts at 10 a.m, leaving the BG statues at Redcliffe at 10 a.m, parade to Diagula Pub for lunch at 12 p.m, then to Kilcoy Anzac Park at 2 p.m. Also on the 6th, Mackay will have the Community Day at the Blue Water Quay at 11 a.m. Speakers include Jodie Lowe and the Corruption Whistleblowers. At 2 p.m, a parade convoy will travel from Mackay to Serena and at 4 p.m. to the Blue Tree Campgrounds. On Sunday, the Central Coast event will be held on Sunday the 7th of September starting at 9 a.m. Forest of the Fallen, Addock Park, flyer handout, leaving at 9:45, convoy to Woy Woy, short stop, then leave at 10:30 a.m, drive to Yamina, Edelong, Benville, Kincumber, Terrigal, and then up to the Long Jetty, the entrance and back to Adcock Park via Wyoming around 1 p.m. There will be a game of cricket, a laughter or two, and then an open mic. On Sunday the 7th of September, the Wollongong event will start at 8 a.m. Leaving Helensburgh, the parade will go through Thirroul, Bulli, Port Kembla, Shell Harbour, Dapto and finish at Stewart Park, Wollongong. There is a barbecue from 1 a.m. and guest speakers. The Port Macquarie event will start at 10 a.m. on Sunday the 7th, leaving the Big Donut Servo at 10 a.m. and parade to Kew Visitor Centre, the Big Axe via the highway, then back to Port along the Coast Road, picking up signatures and cars at Laurieton, North Haven, Bonny Hills and Lake Cathy. Stopping at Port Mac Old Food for less car park to hand out flyers and get covenant signatures. Help us if you can. Fish and chips on the town green after. And on the 12th of October, the Emerald will host a family and community breakfast and brunch at the Woolshed Area Agro. Entry is by gold coin donation and it starts at 8 a.m.
Right, that's all Jody stuff. But Brady, how do they find out where your venues are if people wanted to go and get into a stand in the park? Have you got a website or something where people can go and go, okay, this is my area, bang, yeah?
Yeah, standinthepark.org.
Okay, thank you.
All the Yep.
Right. And as I say, guys, we're joining up with them this weekend. They're coming down to see us, I think, which is great. I'll be able to interview a few of them. We're taking a microphone down there. We're going to, have a bit of a do. We've got some healthy sausages. People, if you are buying sausages for our events, please do not go to Coles or Woolworths, all right? Do not do it. Go to your local butcher, help him out, get a few people to throw in some bucks because all you do is get sick. And I've been there and the other freedom people have been there. When we've got to eat that poison, guys, it's no good for us. So, hey, let's just, make a change in a few ways, guys, all right? No, I'm not telling you what to do, but I would suggest no Coles or Woolies snags. Simple.
You don't like sawdust, mate?
Mate, I tell you, they make me sick, Brady. I'm serious, man.
Yeah,
you eat them to be sociable, in an environment because someone hands you a sausage sandwich or something, and a dead set, man, half an hour later, I'm going, I'm gone. But I eat good food. I don't eat the shit. So when I do have the shit, it has an effect on me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Desi Freeman story is making a lot of traction on social media, and we've got this one on it.
Know about the Desi Freeman manhunt. A former Australian Federal Police chief has revealed why police are tight-lipped about the manhunt for alleged cop killer Desi Freeman. The Australian Defence Force has been called in to provide technical support as more than 450 officers search Victoria's remote alpine region.
The military have access to technologies that aren't available to the civilian population and aren't made public. I don't feel comfortable in listing some of those, but it is another level. The operation will still be led by the Victorian Police, who are doing a very good job with this. They just need some additional technical support.
Despite a massive police presence and repeated area lockdowns, some locals say they've been left out of the investigation. entirely. One woman, a close friend of Freeman's wife who lives nearby, says she heard the fatal gunshots that killed 2 Victoria police officers last week. Yet, more than a week on, she claims police still haven't contacted her. Freeman remains armed and at large near Mount Buffalo National Park, with police refusing to confirm how much taxpayer money is being spent on the ongoing operation.
Now, there's a lot of comment. I've been reading the comments on the various different news reports and things like that. No one's buying this. No one's buying the story. Everyone thinks that it's very strange that 10 cops got ambushed at 3 o'clock in the morning delivering a warrant, and they didn't have their body cams on.
And he escaped 7 of them to make his way out after stealing 2 of their Glocks and taken off to wherever he took off to, but no one knew where he went. They got all this high technology. Why wouldn't they have had an infrared camera on site with him in case he'd done a runner? You know, there he is, guys, bring the chopper in. No, because something's going on here.
Yeah. I don't know anything about it. I just see sort of stuff, comments on Facebook and stuff, and so everyone seems to think there's something fishy going on. So
yeah, it's a general consensus out there, Brady. Yeah.
Well, they've broken everything, haven't they? No one believes anything anymore.
No,
it's just all of that stuff. I mean, we actually believed, I did anyway, believed that 9/11 was real up until reasonably recently. Yeah, no one does.
Yeah, I think we all thought it was real at the time. You know what I mean? We all thought the whole charade was real. Now we know we live in a matrix and everything out there is a lie, and it's up to us to discern and navigate our way through what we're going through, guys. But how are we going to do that? You're going to do that standing shoulder to shoulder, right, and walking forward. And that's how the Australian people are going to do it. There is no other way.
No, that's it. Look, 2 worlds collide. There's something very strange going on in Germany, and I'll let him explain it.
On things that don't involve Australia, but what's happening in Germany right now is unreal. And statistically, it's impossible. In just 13 days, 7 candidates from the AfD party have suddenly died, right before crucial local elections. 7 candidates, the same party, same state, same elections. Authorities are calling it a coincidence, but let's be real, the circumstances and timing is wild. So a lot of people might say, who are the kind of like if Pauline Hanson's One Nation Party had influence of the Nationals, and they have risen and grown fast because Germany's people are sick of mass immigration, unaffordable housing, rising crime, and a government obsessed with green targets whilst the economy collapses. Does that sound familiar? Now, I'm not saying there's foul play here, but think about the odds. 7 politicians, the same party, dying within 2 weeks of each other, just before voters head to the polls. That's not politics as usual. That's the kind of thing you'd expect to see in a Netflix thriller, not Europe's biggest economy. And here's the state of Germany today. Mass immigration pouring in, crime and unrest is on the rise, the cost of living is climbing, and a government more worried about silencing free speech and protecting its own people. And the AfD, like them or not, they represent the fraction of Germany that have said enough is enough. And yet, right before crucial elections, one by one, their candidates are dying. Coincidence? Maybe, and that's what the authorities are saying. But just take a step back and look at the bigger picture. Mass immigration, a broken economy, and political opponents dropping dead before the election. And history shows us that's exactly the kind of environment where instability, extremism take hold. This report actually makes me worried. Statistically, this can't happen. Oh, and just on a lighter note, check out Dan Andrews rubbing shoulders with the Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un. Sometimes I think to myself, are we living in a simulation? And then I get sent photos like this. Maybe we are.
Looks like Dave's dropped out.
Yeah, no, that's just a coincidence, surely. It's only 7 of them.
I know. How many coincidences can you get?
Just dump me, man. Like, anyway, we shouldn't talk about things that the government doesn't like us talking about, Brady, because this is what they do. You know, out the studio.
Pretty hard these days, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? I wouldn't, you know, we might as well not run a news show if we're not going to. Like, yeah, wow, they keep us with so much news, mate. Like, me and Caz were speaking about it. You could run a 24-hour news channel, but you still couldn't get in 48 hours worth of news every day because that's what we're getting.
Yeah.
Well, that's right. You know, with the big protests on the weekend and the big turnout, I wouldn't worry too much because it looks like the government might have a little solution. Here is the communications minister, or one of the
communications. My concern is how we stop this from spreading online. I think everybody in Australia has experienced an uptick in seeing this kind of behaviour because people are able to organise online. And part of what drives us as the Albanese government and our mission to make online spaces safer, particularly for Australian kids, is the prevalence of this kind of thing and doing what we can where we can.
Every time they open their mouth, they just go backwards. They're just digging a hole deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and getting more out of touch. It's brilliant to watch. It's fascinating.
It is funny to watch. Yeah, it is. It's same as I got some stuff up there, Brady. But one of them was I actually put it on Twitter was Kathmandu and Rip Curl being shut down. All right, all the stores are closing. And they've gone, it's a rebranding thing. What a load of bullshit. You went woke and you went broke. Why would you rebrand two of the biggest names in the fucking world?
Yeah,
you
right.
know? Like, what a load of bullshit. We know what happened to you. You've gone broke because you fucking went woke. It's simple.
What would they do?
Well, they went woke. Rip Curl went woke. Kathmandu went woke. And people like Canada might
put trannies in the ads or something.
Hey?
Put trannies in the ads or something. Like, what do they do?
Yeah, they got rid of the girl with one arm, Beth Hamilton, and they brought in a tranny to represent the Rip Curl. Yeah, this was 12 months ago, bloke.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we put it on the show, and these guys have gone broke, mate. And I'm telling you, we burnt Rip Curl stuff and that. You know what I mean? A few people did send in the videos.
Yeah. Yeah, you can just imagine how many people are at home watching that chick, like whatever who's watching that channel, but how many people, if they watched that lady who was just on there, percentage of the population would be looking at her going, you're a fucking moron. It'd be over 90 by now.
Yeah, what happened to Budweiser? Exactly. What happened to Harley? They had to change their tune. Anyone that goes woke goes broke, but they don't care. They're out to destroy everything that we. Rip Curl was close to me being a surfer and that. Watches, everything I used to buy Rip Curl. And the same with Harley Davidson for the Americans, Kathmandu for the people who go camping and that, and they lost a lot of business, man. They really did.
Look, they've made an announcement, but what's really exciting is we actually might be able to claim the Sydney Harbour Bridge, and here it is here.
For the 13th of September. I didn't think they could do it, but they've got the Harbour Bridge, and it looks like Captain Graham Hood is also going to be coming down to speak at the rally. And so they're going to be marching across the bridge, reclaiming the bridge for Australian issues. And it's really refreshing for me because in recent years, we've seen them march for climate change, for Palestine, for LGBT issues across the bridge, for everything other than Australian issues. And I'm very much interested to see exactly how it goes, how big it is, what the drone footage looks like. And I'm really excited to see that Captain Graham Hood's put his name to it because knowing a speaker that's coming early is really helpful to get on board with this thing. So check it out. Here are the posters for the various cities.
And I've got the posters here. I've just done a short one, so it's only 40 seconds.
And Australia unites again on the 13th of September against the Digital ID Bill, against the social media ban, the WHO Pandemic Treaty, protect the farmers, housing and cost of living crisis, and immigration reform. There will be zero tolerance for racism. And the events are as follows. Sydney, marching across the Sydney Harbour Bridge, meeting at Bradfield Park, Nelson's Point, for the March to Hyde Park, Saturday the 13th of September, nationwide at 12 p.m. Melbourne will be gathering at the Victorian Parliament at 12 p.m. and Brisbane will be gathering at the Botanic Gardens on Alice Street at 12 p.m. Other cities to be announced.
Very exciting.
Yeah. Keep them going. There's another one coming up. Morgan Cox is organising one. The young guy that camped outside of Parliament House, Albo's place up at Copacabana. So he's going to get one going. So a lot of people are jumping in, and Brady has choice because these guys are doing it every weekend, and we need to do the same. We need to show that patriotism and that we're solid and that we're going to keep turning up until we get our result. You don't win it. You don't win the game if you're not on the field.
Yeah, and I put the Stand in the Park name behind that this latest one as well, which I don't usually do because it's not really an organisation. I don't really sort of make any decisions on behalf of it all. But I think it's really important that we see people who are coming along now see a bit of history and foundation and depth to it, and it'll make them feel a bit safer, I think. So, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, cool.
Well, we've got a lot of things that are facing us, and one of them is was so succinctly put by this guy in the UK.
Tell me that again. I have a digital ID because I'm a free man with free will in a free country. Do you think that they're using the migrant crisis to bring in a digital ID? 100%. 100%. This is the plan. Divide and conquer. I was ridiculed by people, by family, by friends. I lost so many people to COVID when I was exposing what these scumbags are doing. Did you go on the protest? I was on protest. I was on a COVID protest. All you have to do is look at China. China is run by a social credit system. Everything is controlled by your credit score in China. And that's exactly the same system they want to implement over here. They do not care about you. The health system in this country is fucked. The police system's fucked. And no one is coming to save you people. You have to save yourself.
Wow.
It's going off over there, mate. They're getting arrested for everything, you know, but the everyone's raising their flags. England started. I think we got France and that now joining in, other European countries. Well, they said Australia next, and then they went over to Europe. But, yeah. So, you know, we got to stand patriotic to what we believe in, guys, and we got to stand up. Now's the time.
Yeah, and when you look at that flag raising, it looks fairly sort of benign, really, but it's actually a really powerful thing. They'd much prefer us riding in the streets than they would putting flags up everywhere. That's their worst nightmare. It's a great thing. The only answer here is the answer here can't be violence. It has to be a reverse propaganda. Like when you look at that flag racing, it's actually from the inside out. It's actually reverse propaganda, which is their tools. It's using them back on them. Much more powerful than riding in the streets. That's not going to get us anywhere. So it was really good thermometer, actually, looking at that. Is just how far we've come and where people are at, because that's the answer, and we're doing it. So I love seeing that.
Yeah, it's great, mate.
We're getting a lot of wins, though, and it's mainly coming from overseas at the moment. One of them is with RFK, a couple of wins, actually, with regards to the vaccine. First of all, you've got this one. So Dave mentioned it. This is Florida Surgeon General, and he's banned all vaccine mandates.
Yep.
So, and which is absolutely fantastic. And then you've got RFK saying this.
Americans who believe that they know somebody who was killed by a COVID vaccine. Killed? Killed. 25% of Americans, 52% of Americans believe that the vaccines are causing injuries, including death. 52%. If you look at the clinical trial studies, the actual studies that were done, that were released, of the Pfizer vaccine, Moderna has not released it. If you look at the Pfizer vaccine, there were 22,000 people in the placebo group, 22,000 people who got the actual vaccine. And the people who got the vaccine had a 23% higher death rate from all causes at the end of that study.
But that could not be the disease itself?
No, well,
because we know that
if it is, then the vaccine doesn't work.
It's certainly...
Like, he just puts it so succinctly. Yeah, well, if it is, then the vaccine doesn't work. Yes.
There you go. In England, guys, in the UK, they're now arresting women to protect them from the immigrants, from getting raped. Yeah, you know, how brilliant is that? Common sense, just, you know, intelligence flowing out of their ears over there with Carl Starmer.
What are they doing, sorry?
So what they're doing is they're now arresting women, and they're saying, you know, they arrest them on a you know, and say to them, oh, well, it's for your better good. You can't get raped if we've arrested you.
So they're sort of picking them up in the streets kind of thing.
Yeah. If you got a flag, you know, young 11-year-old, 12-year-old girls getting harassed by cops the other day I saw because she was wearing an English flag. Just unbelievable, mate. Picking on kids now, you know, like 11, 12-year-olds. Unbelievable. Yep.
Well, that's it. You know, one of the things that is quite disturbing, I didn't see this, but I knew that they had passed, or they were talking about searching people. I didn't realise in Melbourne they actually did it. Have a look at this.
Shame on you, you fucking dog. No arrest down the side. Shame on your family name. Shame on your country.
What are you going to tell your children?
What are you doing? We work for Palestine. Another country. Let's go. All right. You're searching. Arresting everyone now.
Protesters, you have been warned. Disperse the area now or you will be stopped and you will be searched.
That's a weaponisation of it.
Yep. This is Melbourne, mate. This is sort of stuff that's all starting to come out now. People are getting their other shots and that out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to toss me spuds.
And a shout out for Paul, guys. Yeah, if anyone can get down, you see Michael Griffiths is keeping everyone updated on that. So go over to his channel, have a look at that. But if you can get to help Paul out, yes, certainly get there, guys. We need to stand by each other.
Yeah, that's right. Now one of the things that's been on everyone's lips is, of course, the situation that's going on with Epstein Island, and it looks like we're actually getting somewhere. This is Paulina Luna.
The biggest thing that stands out to me is the victims themselves have stated that this is a lot bigger than I think anyone anticipated. We are obviously going to be requesting the SARS reports from Treasury, and also following up on that. There's some very rich and powerful people that need to go to jail. I think everyone's been frustrated as to why that hasn't happened before. But it is very much so a possibility that Jeffrey Epstein was an intelligence asset working for our adversaries. But also, too, I think the questions that we have is how much did our own government know about it? And so there's more to follow, and I'm sure you'll be hearing from the chairman momentarily. But I do applaud the victims from coming forward, because we heard from a woman who was as young as 14 years old when she was victimized multiple times by Jeffrey Epstein. So that's hard to hear.
Will you sign the discharge petition and ask the discharge petition?
I think that the files will probably be released prior. I don't know why Comer hasn't. I think that he should do it, so it wouldn't even have to come to a vote. But, I mean, obviously I've been a huge advocate, even when I was the only one in Congress calling for the release of those files. So I think I'd be happy to, yes.
That's incredible. Like, we all thought that it wasn't going to happen. Now, the other thing that I wanted to show you is this. This is Kim Jong-un's staff wiping down where he had been. Have a look at this. She removes anything that is touched, and he's making sure that that he wipes down absolutely everything.
Wow. That's interesting, isn't it? I wonder whether they use just even basic sweat or something to clone people now.
Well, I think he's more worried about biospecific weapons, because if they get his DNA, then they can create a weapon to take him out.
As we know.
I don't know why that guy always just makes me laugh. There's something about him. It's just funny.
I'd like to see the results of the 7 dead over there in Germany, mate. That's what I'd like to see, because that's not a coincidence, guys. That's just a takeout. Obviously, they're it's the Clintons' cousins or something.
Can't kill us all.
No, they can't, Brady. They're trying.
They are trying indeed. And of course, there's been a really big resurgence in the Australian spirit, and I thought that this really represented who we are as people.
Hey, what's going on here? What are you doing? Kookaburra fight. Now stop it. You guys need to make up. You be friends now. Okay, that's a lot better. Now you go over there. You come with me. Crikey. Day's work involves putting out fires, stopping fights, playing with the gators, crocodiles, koalas, kangaroos. Oh, come on, bike.
So
I enjoyed
Aussie.
that. Yeah.
He was a character. He was a character, a real Aussie character, that dude.
Reckon there was something dodge going on there?
Oh, I could imagine there may have been, you know, like it's, everything's open to interpretation, Brady, these days, I think.
I just wondered whether he might not have been jumping on the environmental bandwagon like they wanted him to, and he was such a big international name that it was a problem for him. Or I don't know. Maybe
We
I'm just
don't
a
know.
crazy conspiracy theorist. I don't know.
Yeah, you probably are, Brady. You stand in the park on your own for 6 months, you know, like.
Well, the thing is that we conspiracy theorists, we don't often get it wrong. We actually,
Yeah, exactly.
and it's because we
Yeah.
question. We're willing to get it. We're willing to be wrong. Mostly we
Wish we
hope we
were.
are wrong. We're just not very wrong very often. That's the problem, and it is a problem, you know. So, yeah. Look, we're being taken out by the rocking housewife, and I can't remember exactly what that song's called. So, but it's something about I can't remember, but it's a really good one anyway. So, we've lost Brady.
I was going to say, where'd Brady go?
Mate, we're having some trouble tonight, I tell you.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask him to wrap final words and get you to wrap up there, Dave.
Yeah, we'll see if he comes in, because I wanted to congratulate him on 5 years. And, so I'll say what I wanted to say, Brady, here or not, I suppose. But, well done on 5 years, Brady. Brilliant job, mate. Still out there, still doing it. Continue on, guys. Get to standinthepark.org, find out a location near you and get involved. Share numbers, as Brady said, and get to know people in your area, right? So we can help each other, guys. It's a community thing. All right? Brady's just coming back in now.
Oh, there he is.
There you go, mate. Yeah, all good, mate. So I was just congratulating you, Brady, anyway, mate, on your 5 year. And just saying, get to your website, have a look at it, standinthepark.org, find out a place near you, exchange phone numbers, bring some cakes, you know what I mean? Get together, guys.
And it's really important too. It's really important too that we not only get together for individuals and have these energy exchanges in the physical, but not only as communities, but Stand in the Park is global, and there's something really powerful about people standing in Costa Rica, in Hong Kong, in America, all over the UK, in Australia, all the time, every month. It's just an hour a month. We step up, we draw our line in the sand as energetic pinpoints and show our faces. There's something really powerful about that. Just that diesel engine of just chugging along, saying we see you, and we're moving our bodies to show you that we do. It's much more powerful than it looks. Stand in the Park.
Yeah.
Well, I just noticed here you've got over 1,000 parks in over 30 countries. That's incredible.
Yep.
Yeah, it was 1,500 during COVID in 40 countries, but a lot of them sort of dropped out then. But they're still starting all the time. Like if you go to Stand in the Park on Facebook, you'll see all the starting. There's heaps starting in the US and different countries, and they're starting all the time. It's never gone anywhere. It's just that the unassuming part of the freedom stuff is just the Stand in the Park ticks along in the background, and I'll never push it. I just do my videos and never push it, and I never said I was the leader, and there's no organisation. It's just it will do what it will do. So yeah, it was been strong the whole time.
Beautiful, brilliant, mate.
All right, the song's called "We Won't Surrender" by the Rocking Housewife. So, Dave,
just before we go, just 2 minutes, guys. I just want you to have a think about, Channel 9 got some information out about the Chinese warship that was off the coast down here near us, all right, off Wollongong here, and right underneath a flight plan, a flight path. Now, why would they be hanging around right underneath a flight path? I listened to the audio. It was on Channel 9 News, all right, from the pilots. And there was 3 or 4 planes. One of them was heading straight over that direction. These guys were shooting up 45,000 feet, guys, with live ammo, just in international waters, where between Australia and New Zealand, okay? And we have planes flying at 35. They were shooting up to 45 in a 10-mile radius. What do you think China's saying to us, guys? They don't give two shits, mate. And our government is that weak, mate. They let them frigging do it. So if you don't think that this is a time for the Australian people to frigging unite, all right, and stand up for our country, I don't know when is a better time, guys. You got China on our doorstep, sitting in international waters, shooting fucking live rounds up to 45,000 feet in a flight path. Wake up, people. Good night. Love yous all. Thanks, Brady. You're
Thanks,
a legend.
guys.
Son.
Love your work. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
See ya.
I
remember summer